Do you know that every time you open your web browser, someone is watching? It might be a tracker, it might be a hacker, it might be a data thief, or maybe a third-party application or software, as the case may be, probably from one of these tech giants. And you might feel like the internet is free as well, but it's way far from being free, let alone being safe. Not because you can just access the internet and download so many resources or do whatever I want to do on the internet, you think it's free. No, it's not actually free. In this video, I'll be showing you how to browse the internet, or surf the internet, or surf the web, whichever way you want to put it, like a cybersecurity pro, so that your personal information and your personal data will remain yours and not theirs, that is the tracker or the hacker, or maybe one of these tech giants carrying personal information. Hi everyone, once again welcome to Cyber Productive, where we protect your data, protect your time, and protect your future. So if you value privacy and digital freedom, do well to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell icon so you don't miss out subsequent videos just like this one. That being said, and while you take those simple actions, let's armor up and dive into the video. There are some dangers associated with using the internet which most people don't know about. I actually call them the invisible dangers. And the very first danger is that there are trackers everywhere. And these trackers follow you from site to site, that is recording every single thing you do on each website. Now, when you click a website, or when you try to load the website, a website don't just load, they load trackers which keep record of every single thing you do on that website. So these trackers, they are just simple scripts that follow you from site to site, building a huge profile of who you are. And some of the records these trackers take are what you click, that is things that pique your interest and you click on them. Secondly, how long you scroll, that is how long it takes you to scroll through news feed and spend time on news feed or the internet as a whole. What you ignore, that is basically things that don't pique your interest and you don't go ahead or you don't bother clicking on them. Or even when you stop reading, maybe when you're just surfing the internet and at some point you just stop reading the content, maybe you get bored or you don't further enjoy the content. So all this information, if they are gathered about you, then what do you think? Do you think they are just for fun or they are just for ads? No, they are not. Actually, they are used to manipulate you, because this information already tells them the possible things you love, the things you could search for, the things you like to see. So they gather this information to predict things that will keep you online, things that will just make you addicted online. That's all they want to do. They don't give you things or show you things that will help you grow in any way. They just want to keep you online, and that's one of the ways they make their money. So definitely they won't want to sleep on that. So that's how they predictively manipulate you to stay online and keep spending time online and scrolling through feeds and loads of things. In the same sense, they'll be getting so much more information about you. So having talked about some of the ways your information are being tracked online, now let's talk about some of the pro kits that you can use to browse the internet or surf the internet, like the Cybersecurity Pro. That being said, let's start from the very first toolkit. So the very first toolkit here is to use a privacy-focused browser. That is a web browser that prioritizes privacy first, then every other thing. This is very important because your privacy matters a lot, because that's the very first thing that should be on your mind to secure anytime you're online. Basically, Cyber Pro don't use browsers that feed the machine, because most of these web browsers, most likely the most common ones, they end up feeding a machine with your information, and as a pro, you don't use that. So instead of using the regular web browser, it's better to opt for Brave browser or a Firefox. Now, these ones are more privacy focused because first, they come built in with ad blockers. They also stop fingerprinting and even block creepy ad trackers by default, because they already know all these things track your information and feed them to a machine. So by default, all these are deactivated. So that's the very first one. The second thing you need to do is to install tracker blocking extensions. That is, install extensions on your devices that blocks tracking. Now, here's a pro tip. Whichever browser you decide to use or you opt for, make sure to add a uBlock origin. That is, that's an extension you need to install as well. It helps you block ads and malware. And you need to also install Privacy Badger, which kills invisible trackers. And also install HTTP everywhere, which forces secure connection. So the third thing you want to do to help you browse like a pro on the internet is use a burner email or masked login. Never give out your real email unless you have to. That is, if what you want to use your email for is not that important, don't use your real email. Just come up with a simple email that you can always use for things like that. Don't ever use your real email if you don't have to. What you can simply do is just to create a simple email, just a random email for simple login. Then after then, you can just go ahead and kill the email or kill the login. So the fourth strategy to browse like a pro on the internet is to use a VPN. That is, implement the use of a VPN, but not just any VPN, but VPN that prioritize your privacy as well. That is, use a no-log VPN. That is, a VPN that does not take record of your logs. That is, your login information or login credentials, as the case may be. Because when there's no log, there's obviously nothing to leak. And some of the top VPNs I will recommend you to use are Proton VPN or iVPN. These are more privacy focused. And here is a pro tip. Never trust a free VPN. Why? Because free VPN simply means fishy. There must be something behind it which you don't know, which is making it free. Now, the fifth way to browse like a pro on the internet is to avoid Google for everything. Because Google sees everything. Your search, your purchase, your location, even your voice. It takes record of everything. There are some key things you need to take note of. First is that instead of using Google, you can use Start Page. Start Page is more privacy inclined or privacy oriented. Now, and if you are using YouTube, use YouTube in incognito mode. That is, it protects your information, not leaking them. And as well, go ahead and block Google Analytics in your browser. Yes, there's a setting for that. Just go to your setting and block Google Analytics, which if not blocked, analyzes your browsing history. So the number 6 thing now you can do to help you browse like a pro on the internet is to use guest mode or use separate browser. So as a cyber pro, you shouldn't put all your eggs in one basket. So actually the idea is use different browsers for different tasks. So let me give you a real example. Say for instance, you want to do a research. Do your research on Firefox and every other thing you want to check on the internet. Now let's say you want to shop. Use Brave browser to shop online. Do all your shoppings on Brave browser. Then let's say you want to send emails out to friends or work colleagues or whoever. Use Tor, or maybe you can use Proton Mail. These are more secure ways to send information on the internet because all these platforms are privacy focused. These are better ways of using the internet. Basically, we've shed enough light on how to help you browse the internet like a cybersecurity pro. But hold on, let me give you bonus habits for total safety. The very first habit is to clear cookies and cache weekly. Now, your browser stores so many information about you, way more than you think. Be it your autofill, your history, that's your browser history, or even your login credentials. So you need to clear these cookies and cache weekly or use auto delete tools to automatically delete them every time. Number 2 habit is to never log in with Facebook or Google. This is a trick most people fall for. They think it's easier to log in with Facebook or Google. It's just a trick. Honestly, those logins are Trojan horses. Clicking login with Google gives away your information totally. So make sure to always create a separate login each time you want to log into a platform or create any account online. And the third habit is to say no to auto sync, that is automatic synchronization. Because syncing your browser simply means syncing your entire life because it will lead to cross-device tracking. And cross-device tracking is real, honestly. So make sure to turn it off. This is a very important habit you need to implement. So at this point, let's just wrap things up. You don't have to be a hacker to protect your data. All you need to do is to think like one. Cybersecurity is not about paranoia. It's about power. Big tech thrives on silence, but not you, not anymore. So if you found even one tip helpful in this video, do well to smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell icon so you don't miss out subsequent videos. And drop a lock icon in the comment below to let me know you're locking down your browsing today. You just leveled up your digital defense today. So just stick around for more videos like is your phone spying on you and why your passwords are weak. Once again, this is Cyber Productive, and because privacy is not optional, I'll see you in the next one.